Hey guys, my name is Leslie. I am the owner of Hammer and Stain North Shore, and today I am going to help you create and walk you through creating your very own sea glass gnome. So thank you very much for purchasing one of our sea glass gnome craft kits from us. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we have two different sizes. Today I'm actually going to make the smaller gnome, but this is the larger 10-inch gnome. This would be the 7-inch gnome. You'll have chosen how you wanted your sea glass to come. Do you want your gnome to be more of a festive holiday gnome, kind of like a Santa gnome with your red hat, your green shirt, and your little pom-pom? Or today, I'm going to show you how we're making our nautical gnome. The way that you make the Santa festive gnome versus the nautical gnome is the same exact way. So it doesn't matter if you got one color glass versus the other. In your craft kit, you should have received a whole bunch of sea glass, as well as a beard and a wooden nose. And you also should have received a string of lights, and then you'll receive either the pom-pom if you're making the holiday gnome, or you'll receive a stick with a starfish as your topper. So that should all be in your craft kit. What you will need on your own is a hot glue gun or a melting pot with hot glue in it. If you're doing this with a whole group of friends, I do recommend getting the melting pot, but the hot glue gun works just as great. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is glue on the beard and attach it to your cone. So if you're using a smaller cone, you got the smaller one, we're going to attach it and then we may have to trim it, or it may just sit in front of it. If you have the larger size cone, when we attach it, you probably won't have to trim it. So just keep that in mind if you're doing the smaller one. And when I did this one here, I wanted my hat to be about 3/4 of it. So you don't want to attach especially for the smaller one, you don't want to attach your beard way up here, up high. You kind of want to pick a halfway point or a little under halfway to attach it. And we're just going to add glue all to the back here, a whole bunch of glue, and we're going to stick it on and hold it there so that it really glues on. You can always trim the beard at the end or later, so don't worry about that right now. We just want to make sure the beard is nice and stuck on. And then we're going to get our nose here, and we want to stick our nose either right in the center of the beard or a little bit higher up. And I'm just going to hold it there so that as the glue dries, it really stays in place. As our beard and nose dry, we want to start sorting our sea glass. So you'll either have 3 different colors of sea glass if you're going for more nautical look, or you picked out your colors, or you'll have the holiday themed colors. And we want to sort our sea glass into 3 piles. We want a large pile, a medium pile, and a small pile. Okay, so that's what you're going to start with. If you do end up getting a really, really big piece, like look how big of a piece this is, you may just want to put it aside and leave it for later. You can always break the sea glass by putting it into a plastic bag and like a Ziploc plastic bag and hitting it with a hammer or something hard, but you may not even need it. So I'm just going to put the really big pieces aside and start with large, medium, and small piles. Okay, so I've got them sorted into large, medium, and small. We're mostly going to be working with the medium and smalls, especially if you have a 7-inch gnome. If you have the taller gnome, you may use some of your large as well. So I'm going to start by constructing the gnome hat, and then I'm going to work on the body. So let's take a look at my festive gnome here. You get to choose, especially for the nautical themed one, what colors you want to use for the hat versus what colors you would want to use for the more like the shirt or the body. For the festive holiday one, we use red for the hat and greens for the body. It's really up to you what you choose, but we're going to start with building up the hat, and then we're going to fill in the shirt at the end, and then the last step will be putting the topper on. So let's start with the hat. So the rim of the hat is going to start right at the beard, and I am going to go with using my light blue and my white sea glass. I'm going to put some glue on the tip of a sea glass, and I'm going to stick it in and kind of angle it down, okay? And we're going to have to work up around our nose. So I'm starting with my medium-sized pieces of sea glass, push it in, press it down. And I'm kind of alternating. I may even use some smaller ones around the nose. I'm alternating colors. So I'm using light blue and white on the hat part. So I'm just trying to not put, a white next to a light blue and vice versa. And I gotta go up over the nose. So I'm gonna use some really smaller pieces for that. Good one. When you're pushing the sea glass into the cone, you want to push a pointy side in. Then, like I said, then you can angle it down. So there's my one right over the nose. If you try to push a flat side into the cone, it can be really difficult to get it to stick in and stay. So I definitely recommend pushing a pointy side in versus a flat side. We're just going to make our way around that first kind of row and build up as we go. We're going to keep building up, but I want to make sure that my hat goes all the way around. So I'm going to start spinning it. You can see I push in and then I angle it down. If you push it in and you keep it sticking straight out, then you're going to have a hat or sea glass that sticks straight out. So right now I'm using my medium size, mostly my medium sized pieces as I go around and make this first row. And just be really careful using the hot glue. Hot glue is hot. It hurts when it burns and gets on your skin. Okay, so as you can see, I went all the way around. Now I'm going to start to build up, again, the front and the back. And I'm just going to alternate, again, what colors I'm going to use. I'm doing the mix of the white and the blue. So I push it in and then angle it down. I have a little bit of beard stuck to me there. But if you start to get strings of glue, I would recommend unstringing them or getting them off your hands or off the sea glass as you go. It's a lot easier than just keeping it on. So I pushed it in and then I angle it down, okay? Gnomes are one of our favorite projects here in the studio. We do a lot of gnome projects, and these sea glass gnomes are just so cute. I love them so much. And I love that you could have a holiday themed one or an everyday one. And of course the holiday one comes with a white beard, but we also have like this light brown beard. We have a light gray beard. I really love them. Sometimes I'm holding it up for you guys, but sometimes it's easier to keep it flat on a table as you do it. I'll try to angle this down a little bit more so you guys can see. If you keep it flat on the table and don't have to hold it, it's a lot easier and you have more control to push it in and then angle down. And as we make our way up the top, we're gonna start using smaller and smaller pieces. So the larger pieces definitely wanna be at the bottom of your hat. Again, if you have a piece that's just really way too big, you can always break it. So cute. I can't wait to see how it turns out. Love the nautical gnome. And I keep spinning the cone around and the gnome around just so I can make sure I get all the sides and it all filled in. Starting to get up to the top, so I'm starting to use some smaller pieces. And as you can see, I'm just doing it by random color here. So if you're making the holiday gnome and you want it to be all red, then you're just using all of your red sea glass. Or if you're making a nautical one and you want to use all one color, maybe you want an all white hat, maybe you want an all dark blue hat, you can do that as well. I kind of like the alternating in a mix of sea glass color to give it a little pizzazz. So I'm really liking the light blue and the white together, but a dark blue and white, a dark blue and light blue look really nice together. All right, I am almost at the top, so I want to make sure it's all filled in so that we don't see any white cone. And as you get to the very top, it's going to be hard to stick sea glass into the cone. So we may just have to lay some on top. But once you get to the top, now we're gonna work on putting our topper on. So if you got your holiday gnome and you have the little pom-pom, you're just gonna add a whole bunch of glue right on the top there and stick your pom-pom on top. If you got the nautical one, we're gonna use our cute little starfish and our bamboo stick. So you can either break the bamboo stick in half or cut it. And we want the pointy end to go in. So we're gonna push down the pointy end so that we make a nice hole for it. And then we're gonna take it out. And then we're going to either use our hot glue gun to put glue all on our starfish like that, which is usually what I do. If you're using a hot pot, then you're gonna want to dip the flat end into the hot glue and then place it on your starfish. So you want to make sure that this bamboo stick is really glued on to your starfish. So I'm just going to add lots of glue to it, and I'm going to set it aside so that it can completely harden. The glue can completely harden. While that's hardening, we can start working on our body. So for our body, we're taking our glass, and instead of sticking it in like the hat is flared, we're actually just gonna glue the glass on flat around the body. So you can see here in my example how the green glass is glued on flat, almost like shingles, but it's definitely not flared out. So I'm gonna start with the biggest of the blue pieces. Get some glue on it and stick it right up onto the cone, but making sure that it doesn't go below the base of the cone. And the hair, the beard, can kind of cover parts of it too, so don't worry about that. And I'm just gonna go around and create my first row, just like that, with the dark blue, sticking straight, flat on to the cone. So those larger pieces are definitely great, especially for this first row for your shirt area. You want to use the larger pieces. This piece right here, a little too big. Not going to use that one. But like I said, you can always break them and cut them or break them and use the smaller pieces if you need to. I'm going to use the biggest pieces that I have as I go around and create the shirt. Don't worry if there's some white showing. We can always fill in later. Get right up under there. So here's my first row of blue shirt. Now I'm going to create a second row, and I'm going to go right above it. And again, trying to stay flat for when I add it on, but I do want to overlap the sea glass. So I stuck it on and it flares out just a little, but it's overlapping that first coat, or the first row, I should say. This one. And sometimes you have to play around. It's like a puzzle piece. You need to make sure, is that going to look good there? Test it out before you glue it on. Make sure things look good. Just going around. You're trying to have it be like as flat as possible. So we're not sticking it into the cone right now. We're just using flat pieces, or gluing it flat as we can to the cone instead of sticking it into the cone. Lots of strings of glue, so I'm gonna take that all off. But there's my second row. And I probably can do one more row. Maybe you have some smaller pieces here. Again, test it out before you glue it on, so that I get right up to the base of the hat. Kind of snuck in under there. good. I'm so excited. Okay, I think my shirt is done. If you see any little white parts, like maybe there's some white down there, you can always add in a piece if you find one. Sometimes I just leave it if I can't find a piece that kind of will cover it. There he is. Ah, he looks so great. Okay, by this time, my starfish should be good to take and stick back in that hole I already created. Push it down so that it's going to sit right on top there. Okay, and then I'm going to take some sea glass and I'm just going to fill in the top with really tiny pieces so that I don't see any of my white cone. And you're not going to be able to push the pieces into the cone like we did constructing the hat, but we're just going to lay it on top to cover any of the white cone that you see. And usually this is good to use like the smallest pieces if you can. I'm going to go around the back too because I don't want the white cone showing on the back. Perfect. One more little piece and I think I'm done. Oh my goodness, is he or she? Perfect, I love it. Make sure my starfish is nice and straight. He's amazing. There you go, all done. Last thing to do would be to trim with some scissors if you wanted to, or you could always just leave it and have it kind of lay flat on your table, but feel free to trim it. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you absolutely love your sea glass gnome as much as I love this one. Feel free to tag us in any pictures that you post on Instagram or Facebook. We are Hammer and Stain North Shore on both of those platforms. And I just want to thank you again for choosing to shop with a small local business in Beverly, Mass. My mission is really to spread joy and creativity to our community and beyond. So thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.